Welcome back. Shalom. Glad you guys are here. And I appreciate you. Not really sure what I want to talk about. Doing a lot of thinking. And I was watching this video. And I was going to bring it up for you guys. And my battery is running low. So, with my cracked screen, I can't see how much power it has. So it died in the middle of the video, and then the Lord does what he does. And my boy Dat gave me a call, so me and him spent like 4 hours on the phone, literally talking about like just so much stuff, like our friendship, our families, the Lord, the past, the future, the present. Like, man, so feels good to have real conversations. I'm a little bad at conversating, though, that I've started to step back and observe myself. Because I constantly, make these videos and tell people to better themselves and watch the things that you do and, certain things like that. And I really do hold myself accountable to these things. I really do learn these things as I go. Now, it's been a long time. But, we like to do what we want. So many things are changing. Since my very first video, I said everything that I needed to say, I realized. And just as I did in my first video, I talk to people. But the reason these videos, certain ones, sound so good is because I'm really talking to myself. I truly do make these videos for you and me. See, I figured out a long time ago that there is no, future, and there is no past. Meaning, you only can think of your future. And you only can think of your past. Once it's gone, once it passed, it's gone, it's over, it's not there, it's not that anymore. And the thing about the future is you can only think about it. What you think it's going to be, what you want it to be, what you want it to be like. And because the Lord gave us ability of free will and choice and all these capabilities, we can change things. and we get to shape the future. Now, nobody gets to shape the past. The past is the past. You can't change it. You can hide it, you can embellish it, you can lie about it, but the past is there. Now, the meaning of this, and for me to understand, it took for me to read the Bible. And I'm probably sure somewhere down the line, someone that actually understood this is the reason I pass it on to you. Someone said I once heard, and I can't quote it the way they did it because they said it really good in a different way, but the answer is what stuck out to me. So I say it the way I want to say it. And what he said is, there's no past because it's over. And because the future hasn't happened yet, we only have the present. And that's why God calls it the present. That's his gift to you. The now. You see how I just paused right there? Everything I just said is the past. And everything I'm thinking about saying before I say it is the future of what you're gonna hear. I recorded this in the past. I spoke this in my present. But when you hear it, it'll be the future. But your future will be your present. You listening to me right now, you're in the future, and I'm talking to you from 1:33 a.m. in the morning on September, what is this? What is this, the 1st? 1st of August. God knows when you heard this. Before I started speaking and I pressed record, I began to think of what I was going to say to you. And that's me thinking of the future and what I want it to be. But you also have to remember that in the very beginning of the video, I said I don't know really what I want to talk about. I'm just gonna go. What are you gonna do with God's gift? Are you gonna do what you did yesterday with it? Are you going to do what you did the day before? What are you going to do with the present that God gave you? You could use it any way you want. He gave you free will. He loved you so much. He gave you the power to disobey him. He also gave you the power to give him a gift. But you can't give the Most High time. For what would a man that can live forever need time for? He doesn't need it. You could, maybe give him money, I guess. I don't know. Men usually like that. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Reading the Bible, he has mountains of gold and diamonds and sapphire and all the best jewels in the world. He has entire mountains of them. I forgot he's the richest man ever. I forgot about that. So I guess giving him money is not going to work. I wonder what God would want as a present. I wonder. I mean, it seems like he has everything, right? He's got his own home, his own castle. He got a crew of good friends and children up there with him, and he built everything that, is perfect and stuff. Like, what do we get him? I mean, it's only right you get somebody that gave you a present, right? I mean, we do call him Father and stuff, you know what I mean? I wonder why we don't have a Father's Day for the Most High. That's strange. I wonder if he liked that. Maybe you could write something in the comments and help me out a little bit on something that maybe, because I don't know everything in the world, but I'm really trying to think about this. Like, what could I give my father for all of these years of servitude and saving my life and letting me go to like all these different places and seeing all this history and meeting all these people and all these stories I have, all this life I've lived. And he let me do it broke. Like, I remember meeting people and they always complained they couldn't do things because they didn't have enough money or enough time or enough something. And I don't know, I used to kind of always tell them, like, you don't really need much. It's really how bad do you want it and what are you willing to give up to get it. Like, I hear people, like, say, how'd you do this or something, I'll tell them some story that seems like literally nothing to me. And they'll be like, well, like, how'd you do that? Like, I mean, and I understand, like, everybody's not built to do everything. So I get it when they be like, how did you move away from everyone you knew? You had no contact, no cell phone, and you just leave everyone you know. You don't have money. Hell, you didn't even have an ID. How the fuck did you just leave from one state to another with nothing? Just the clothes on your back, a couple of wraps, and big balls in the belief in God. And I say, because that's all I needed. And they're like, but, like, I don't get it though. And I say, well, since I felt like I had nothing back then, since I felt alone, I was willing to leave everybody behind. They wasn't doing what I needed them to do. They didn't make me feel the way I needed to be feeling. They didn't help me the way I needed to be helped. So I said, what the fuck if I go somewhere else and no one helps me? What's the difference? The only difference is it'll be people I don't know. And I'll understand why they won't help me. They don't know me. Why would they help me? They don't owe me anything. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do anything for these people. And then I thought about, like, well, what if you fail and, like, you lose your job or something? Or what if the person you go stay with doesn't let you get enough time and you get kicked out? Or anything can happen in the world, you know? Like, strange things happen. They call it Murphy's Law. Anything that can happen will happen. And let me tell you, Murphy kicked my ass a whole lot of times, cause when I say, oh man, the first mission, moving to PA and living above the bar with no lights, no running water, that was fucking tough. At least I had a bathroom though. At least I was strong enough and hygienic enough to do what I needed to do. Good thing I was smart enough to make friends with certain people. Good thing I was trained from being poor to not eat so much. You know, you won't have to use the bathroom if you don't eat so much. You can always, wake up and go to a friend's house that you have now and use their bathroom. You can use the work bathroom. Sacrifice. I had to give up something to get what I wanted. I wanted to be where I was so bad that I said, you know what, not having lights, it's not too bad. I got these candles. I'll paint the walls in this room. This will be my little area. I don't need heat. Fuck that. Who cares if PA is way colder than Jersey? Like, I know you're used to Jersey weather and you're skinny and you're already like, hate the cold, but so what? Get a couple of extra blankets, you put a fucking thermal on, You put your actual clothes on and you go to sleep like that. And you learn to do what the forefathers did. They didn't have no heaters. They didn't have no lights. And I had a phone with internet. So, as I'm learning about my forefathers and stuff and how hard they had it, and I started looking around in my, non-having lights apartment and the shittiness about it and whatever, I was like, wow, you know what? I got a little bit better than them. Like, Judah didn't have no cell phone to learn the Bible. Noah had to face savages. David, oh man, he had to fight Goliath. That fucking, what was he, 15 years old? He took this fucking thing out? And all I had to do was slam one fucking tall guy across the bar and fucking ground and pound him. It's nothing. I was at least 20 something years old and I had my, physical training, been through some shits, lost, I couldn't imagine having to fight a giant at like 15, like a Shaquille O'Neal dude, and you're 15 years old, and you're standing before the soldiers of the Lord. And this mammoth of a man comes out and says, listen, we ain't doing all this warring and we don't want to go through all the killing. Whoever your best warrior is, you bring them up over here. We're going to fight the one. And whoever wins gets to control the other person's army and their land and their people. We're going to put it all on the line, one fight, like real men. And the men of the Lord, there's soldiers, not just regular guys. We're talking soldiers. And we're not talking regular soldiers. We're talking about soldiers of the Lord. They were afraid. They were afraid. And a teenager boy that took care of sheep his whole life. Took care of sheep. He stood up and said, are you people out of your mind? The Lord is with us. How do you think we can lose? And he said, I'll fight him. Huh. The ball's on that kid. I'm fucking 40 and I don't think I can do that. Like this giant guy had a big sword. Imagine Shaq with a big Shaq sword and a shield. And you're a 15-year-old average size boy with a sling, with a fucking rope and a rock. I'm gonna fight Shaquille with a sword. And I have a rope and a rock. And the Lord. Well, we all know how that story ends, right? And that's when I stopped complaining about not having certain things. When I realized that men far better than I have done way more than I'll ever do, had way less than I have as a broke man, as a regular average man. Shit, we like living like kings compared to those guys that served. Hope somebody learned something. All love, all praise.